Hello, Lisa here. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to Say Yes to the Deck. Okay, so I am really excited to be making this video because I have been trying my hardest to keep a list of the decks that I'm interested in so that I can narrow it down to just one. Just one, because I'm trying really hard to be mindful about my purchases. You guys know that's one of the reasons I do this series. It helps me to slow down, and most of the time, if there are decks that I'm considering purchasing, I put them on a list, I keep that list for a month or two, and then when I'm ready to do one of these videos, I review the list, I try to get it narrowed down to, like, you know, a manageable a manageable chunk, and then we go through this process together. So if you are new to Say Yes to the Deck, here's essentially how it works. I have a list of decks I'm interested in. I have a budget this time, so I'm going to try to keep anything that I purchase within that budget, hopefully less. And what I like to do is share the decks that I'm interested in. I like to then look in my collection for things that are similar to the decks that I'm interested in, see if I can get the list narrowed down. Then I like to talk to Peggy, which seems to be y'all's favorite part of this series. And I think she kind of enjoys it as well because she gets to weigh in on what it is I'm thinking about purchasing. And then I usually like to take some time to watch some videos, some walkthroughs, maybe talk to friends, and see where I land. And I will bring you along for the entire process. So with that said, let's get into it. So I'm going to pull up my phone screen so that you guys can see it if I can remember how to do it. Let's see. Okay, I think we are good to go right now. So the first deck on my list is the Touchstone Tarot by Cat Black. Now this one's been easy for me to wait on because for some reason it's still not available on Amazon Canada. I don't know why, and it feels like it keeps going out of stock. Not feels like, it definitely keeps going out of stock on Book Depository. So I sign up for a notification and then it's like, hey, it's back in stock. And I'm like, I'm waiting for Say Yes to the Deck. And then I go to check on it again and it's back out of stock. So I don't know what's happening. I don't know if this is because I'm in Canada or because they just keep selling out or there's not enough stock. I don't know what the situation is. But it's been easy to hold on because it just isn't available easily to me. But the Touchstone Tarot by Cat Black, this is actually a reprint. This deck was originally, I want to say an independent deck, but I could be wrong about that. It's just been out of print for a while. Oddly, I really, really love the borders on this deck, and I love this I'm going to say classic art style, although I don't know if classic is even the right period. To me, when I think classic art, I think of any kind of older artwork. Anybody who actually knows art history is probably like, oh no. But like actually, so this gives me that kind of a feel, and it just looks really beautiful, and the images look really lush, and like there's a lot of contrast and a lot of personality on the different figures. I also really like that the pictures are up close. That's something that really stood out to me when I watched Sarah at Sunset Bow Tarot's video about this deck, was how close the figures felt. Like I love this figure in the chariot. So there's something about it that just feels like you're almost like you're sitting, I guess not really sitting. Oh, look at this hermit. Oh my gosh, he's so pretty. Do you see my dilemma here? It's like they're really pretty. They're really pretty. I don't think I can eliminate this one just looking at it right now. So, and look at, is that the backs? I don't know why I don't remember that, but the backs are really pretty. There is, it looks like a tiny little copyright on the bottom of them. Oh, that's a Happy Squirrel card. I just now noticed that. Okay, well, this Empress is really stunning, and oops, I keep pushing the wrong button. And the, was it the, oh, I can zoom it. I didn't know I could do that. Sorry, squirrel moment. This hermit is really, really beautiful. There's like a, is that a lynx or a cat? Anyways, okay, well, the Touchstone Tarot is on my list, and I'd be curious, actually, I always really enjoy seeing this after the fact. If you are watching and you're one of those people that likes to comment while you watch, if you have a vote, it's always kind of fun to see people who are like, I think you're going to pick this, or I would pick that, and then near the end of their comment, they're like, oh, I see what you picked. Anyways, I don't know what I'm saying. I'm babbling. This is one of the decks on my list. I don't think I can eliminate it just yet, especially seeing that Hermit card. That's really pretty, and so is the Empress card. I also don't think I would want to trim this deck. I love the way that the titles of the cards look like plaques underneath a painting. I really like that effect, which is funny because I hated this effect in another deck. I think it was the Impressionist Tarot, but I really like it here. So I know we didn't get very far with that one, did we? But it's staying on the list. That's the point. Uh-oh. Okay. Let's see. So next up, this one is one I have been thinking about for a very long time. So I have the Dame Darcy Mermaid Tarot, and I absolutely love it. And I've been really, really tempted to pick up the Queen Alice Tarot. And every time I mention this to anybody who knows me, they're like, you need this deck. And so I feel pretty strongly that I would probably really enjoy this deck. And I keep kind of putting it on my wish list and then taking it off and then putting it on and then taking it off. And partly that's because of what I do have in my collection. So we'll be looking at that in a minute. But I mean, come on, it looks so cute. So, and there's something about Alice, I guess, that just works so well with the tarot to me. Like the surrealness of it, the topsy-turviness of it. I don't know. There's something about Alice's world in general that just really, really works for me. Oh, I forgot to talk about prices. Well, my budget is a little bit over $100, so I have about $120 that I'd like to spend. Oh, I just kicked my camera. That was awesome. I have about $120 Canadian max that I'd like to spend on this particular Say Yes to the deck. And because I'm looking at mostly indie decks, I feel like it's very easy. So this says $58, but it's like $58. I feel like that's wrong. No. Maybe that's US, because I feel like Canada, it's more. I don't think I'm logged in to Etsy. I'm not. So yeah, that's the US price. So it's something like $80, and I think it's like $30, almost $30 Canadian to ship. So this one would definitely be over $100 Canadian to purchase. Now the the Cat Black Touchstone Tarot, that one is a mass market deck. So if I could order it, it'd probably be on ballpark $30 for me, $35 maybe. So this one is much more expensive, obviously, but within my budget, so that's fine. So this next deck, Broken Isn't Bad. Now, originally, I can't remember, I think somebody posted in the Supportive Tarot Facebook group about this, or I found it someplace else, I can't remember. But the name caught my attention because I've actually talked about the concept of brokenness and past trauma and things like that. Particularly, I talk about this in my book, but I've also talked about this concept of not being broken, that, you know, I'm not broken. I have a lot of work to do, but I'm not broken. And I thought this was interesting that the title was called Broken Isn't Bad. And when I clicked on it and started looking at the images, I started seeing, can I blow these up? Probably not. Doesn't look like it. I wish these guys would let me. Oh, there we go. Perfect. Well, let me scroll. Yes, it will. Okay. There. Yay. Okay. So what really caught my attention is it seems to be a single feminine figure who is in all of the cards in these different situations. And it feels very much along those lines of sort of self-worth and like your own personal journey. I like how the person in the cards is faceless, and that they're black and white. There's something about that really works for me. So here's our Eight of Cups. She's also nude in all of the photos. I wish she wasn't so body beautiful, just because if it's a deck about sort of identifying with the character and you don't feel like you identify with the character physically, it can be hard to connect. But that's just a quibble. I have lots of decks with beautiful people in it, and it's totally fine. It's just, that's something I've definitely noticed. But I love how there is this way to sort of insert yourself into the image energetically. Like all of these, like look at this Queen of Pentacles where she's sort of holding the bunny up like that. I love that. The Magician, I love this posture on the Magician. I love that she's dancing with death in that way. I mean, it's really, really pretty. Oh, the World. Interesting here, actually, that this appears to be a masculine figure with the sun as his face. And that's the only time I think we see a figure that's not her, because that definitely looks like a male figure to me. That's interesting. I hadn't noticed that before. I love the Fool. So, like, carefree. I love the backs. And there is a guidebook you can get with this deck. It's neat. I can't eliminate this one yet. I'm not doing... Okay, well, maybe I won't eliminate any before I get to show, like, kind of look at my other decks that maybe compete. And this one is in pre-order status. I think when I checked, so currently at the time I'm filming it, it says the estimated date of delivery is October 15th. I don't know if that's going to still be true at the time you see this video, because I am filming it a little bit in advance. But, oh, and taking pre-orders until September 20th. Well, I might not, well, it's still showing. I don't know. I might not be able to, no, it says I still can pre-order it. So maybe, well, anyways. So I don't know why that matters. It doesn't. I can probably cut that bit out. So I don't know about this one. It looks like $68 for the deck with the guidebook, and that is US again. So once I convert that to Canadian and add shipping, again, we're over $100, but still within my budget, if I remember correctly when I looked at the prices. The next one I want to talk about, this one, oh, I keep wanting to buy this one and then I keep backing out. So this is the Inspired Soul Tarot by our very own Julie, Peekaboo Rose. It is really cute. So she designed this deck. Let me just pull up the card preview so that we can see more of the images. If it'll open. Oh yes, good. It did open. I can't make this any bigger, I don't think. But you'll get the idea. So the major arcana are all these like vectorized, like really cute images. I love these padlocks and keys for the lover, or key for the lovers card. That's incredibly meaningful to me. I actually have a padlock tattoo on my upper like back neck area, and Peggy has the key. I don't know if I've talked about that on this channel before, but I have the heart lock and then she has the key. So that just like, oh, it hits me in the feels. I did not smack my microphone. Good for me. Woo! But I just love it. I just love it. And I mean, most of her depictions here, like I love the Do Not Disturb, like door hanger for the Hermit card. I don't particularly love the Justice card. It says the heart wants what it wants. It takes me away from Justice a little bit for me personally. But I love like the plant for the Hanged one. I love the little like sort of Zen garden looking area, like candles and stones for Temperance. I really like this deck. And then the minors are pips. So she has paintbrushes for the wands, which I think is brilliant. I think that's spot on for the wands. She has these symbols for the quartz. So she has a feather for the Page of Wands, this horse and flame for the knight, a cat and sunflower for the queen, and the shield with salamander for the king. I mean, it's so good. It's so well done. And then in the cups, there are wine glasses. And y'all, I'm all about it. And I've been working with pip decks a lot more, so this keeps coming back onto my wish list. I'm like, maybe I really do need this. Like, look at the page. It's this, like, big, giant wine glass. It's like a fishbowl. I love that. And I love the, like, little picnic for the night. And, like, it's so well done. Then in the swords, it's pens, which is a perfect for the analytical sort of mind-based swords. And she really did want this to sort of encompass creative projects and things. So writing for the swords just totally works. Painting for the wands totally works. And then there are buttons, like sewing bits for the pentacles. Like this deck, I mean, let's be honest, whether I pick it up now or late, I'm sure I'm going to eventually pick this up. I don't know if this is the time yet for me. And partly that's just because I'm not sure how much I will reach for it right now. I still don't want to eliminate it though, because I'm agonizing. Sorry if the scrolling is ridiculous. I'm just trying to look at the images. I can't eliminate it yet. I'm not making very good progress. I can't eliminate it yet. Okay, well, gosh darn it. Okay, let's check another deck I've been thinking about. So the Wilder Woven Tarot by Greg White. I have feelings about this particular deck because when I first found out this deck was happening, it was when the art was just being begun by Gregory White. And I started following him on Instagram and watching all the paintings as they unfolded. And what's really cool about this deck is that he paints in this style where there's white space and then there's a shape. So here we have the shape of, I think it's what are those called? A sparrow? No, is this sparrow? A bird. I'm going to just say a bird. So there's a flying bird, and then inside you have the actual image. So inside this silhouette of the bird is this image of the bird nest and the great world out of the tree trunk where that bird's eventually going to venture to. And it's so beautifully done with these silhouettes. And then, of course, what he's done is in the minor arcana, I don't know how many photos are here. In the minor arcana, he's got the actual... you know what? I'm confused for a moment because I thought the minor arcana was the elemental shapes. But actually, so here we have the King of Pentacles, and it looks like it's a mountain silhouette with the scene inside of the stag. And then, so the majors are like animal cutouts with like scenes inside. And then the minors, yeah, so the water, the cup suit is like this, like 3 of Cups is like these otters playing, and that's like a droplet shape. Yeah, okay. Okay, I see. I was just being silly. Look at, like, they're so unique and pretty. And the main reason I ended up not backing this when it went on to Kickstarter was because I wasn't sure how I felt about all the white space. But the more that I look at this deck, the more that I'm like, but I need this. Don't I need this? Look how unique this is. This is so beautiful. And I watched it being unfolding on Instagram well before he ever went to Kickstarter with it. And I thought this was one I was going to for sure buy. But then when it came out, I wasn't sure because of all the white space. So I don't know. But like even, it's just so clever. It's so clever. Like this is a hanging bat in the Hanged Man, and then inside you have this person who's experiencing, who's like looking up, and then all the bats are around. Like it's so clever. The snake for death with the shedding skin here. I might need this. I don't know. This is one that I definitely still really, I think I really want. Like look at this scorpion with the tower lightning bolt. Like it's so smart. And then again with the miners. Oh, he's got all the cards here. Oh my goodness. Oh, the 9 of Cups. I love it. That's one of my deal breakers. Look at the 10 of Cups with the orcas and the rainbow. I really want this. I really want this. I'm having trouble, and I definitely can't buy 2. I definitely can't buy 2. My budget, the budget that I want to stay within, I can't do 2. Oh my God. Look at that page of Cups. This whole suit. Yeah, and it's droplets for water, mountains for earth. What does he have for fire? Hold on, let's just go ahead here. Oh, swords are these like cloud shapes. That makes sense. Where are wands? I want to know what he has for wands. Is it flames? Yeah, it's flames. Look at that. Oh my gosh. And they're different flames. It's not like he's just cut and pasted like the same outer flame shape. Like they're different. I love that. They're all a little bit different. Oh, and then there's some extra cards. The Tree of Life, that's freaking stunning. And the Messenger, it looks like a comet. And there's these like mushroom. Oh, this is so pretty. Why didn't I back this? Now I have to decide. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, I don't know how long I just spent looking at that, but that's a thing. Now this last deck, I'm sorry. I'm sorry in advance because I'm about to show you this Kickstarter. You've probably already seen this. I would like to think that by the time I release this video, you will have already seen this. But this is the Tarot Renard. I don't know if I'm saying that right. It is a stunner. Now, if I have gotten my dates right, then when I publish this video, so when you're seeing this video, if you're watching it the day I upload it, and you watch it right away, you can still back this deck, but only for like the first part of the day. So no rush. If you haven't seen this one before, I'm very sorry that I've given you like 4 hours to decide if you want to back it, because I think it closes at noon today at the time you're watching this video, if you watch it when I first publish it. That was a lot of words. Anyways, but it says, from the back of the fox's burrow, an extraordinary journey awaits that will bring you to the gates of your soul or your destiny. Follow the red fur that shows you the way between dark and light, earth and sky, past and future. So here's the thing. I was getting ready to film this Say Yes to the Deck episode, and I was taking one last look at Kickstarter in case there was anything on there, and this shows up, and I'm like, uh-oh. Because I'm very picky on Kickstarter these days. I think I've only backed like 3 decks this year. Watch me be totally wrong about that number, but I think only like 3 or maybe more. But not as many as I've backed in the past. I've been very picky. This is by the same creator as who did the Lily White and the Lily Black decks, if you're familiar with those. But you guys, one of the things that she says in this campaign homepage is that she wanted a deck that was accessible and useful for all ages, particularly for younger ages, which of course, you know, I'm like paying attention at that point, because if it's meant for kids, I'm probably going to want it, right? Like that's how my aesthetic works. But this is so beautifully done, and the video on the Kickstarter page actually shows every single painting. And when I tell you, like this is the High Priestess, it's a little fox character that goes all the way through. And I mean, I like foxes, but I don't obsess over foxes, and this has completely captivated my attention because it literally feels like a children's storybook kind of art. It's very vivid. Like, look at this 5. This is the Hierophant, and you have these like almost butterfly spirits around the fox, kind of inspiring him as he looks like he's maybe writing something. The Lovers and this like bunny and fox cuddling together in the cold with the star over top. I mean, you could pull out these cards. The Chariot. I mean, you could pull them out and write a story. I love this depiction of the wheel. Like, I'm obsessed. This deck is really, really pretty. I don't know why that green thing came up. I'm sorry. Those are the majors. And then I'm like, okay, well, maybe the minors aren't as good. There's always hope that something will, like, turn me off of this deck. But then I start looking at the minors. Come on, work with me. Don't be giant. Okay, there we go. And every single one of these, so I have, like, sort of personal keywords I like to work with for all of the tarot cards in the deck. And every one of these images fits with my personal keywords for the cards. And that's a really good indication that this is a deck that I would be able to read with, number one, right out of the gate with, like, no problems whatsoever. And it's also a really good indication that I would bond with it really well, because it means that I'm seeing what I like to see in the images. I didn't have any of these cards that I looked at that did not fit with my personal understanding of those cards in any way, shape, or form, and that is usually the thing that's going to convince me to not get a deck. So this one is, in my opinion, pretty top contender today. So we'll see where I land. But there's, I mean, that Wilder Woven and the Queen Alice, and you guys, I'm in trouble. So I can't really eliminate anything at this stage, which usually I can eliminate at least one. Not happening today. Okay, so here's what's next. I am going to pull out my reading table, bring you guys top down, and take a look at decks in my collection that may fit the same niche or sort of scratch the same itch as these decks that I want are itching. What am I trying to say? I'm going to show you decks that are similar or that I feel might be in the same kind of category to see if doing that process helps me to eliminate any. I like to get it down to, like, no more than 3 decks by the time I talk to Peggy. So here we go. Okay, so now that we're top down, we're going to take a look at some things from my own collection and see if we can get this narrowed down at least a little bit. So first off, let's talk about Cat Black's Touchstone Tarot. So I was thinking about what in my collection reminds me the most of that deck, and the one that came to mind is my Revival Art Tarot. So this deck is by, I want to say Tarocchi Studios. Yeah, or Tarocco Studio. So there's the website or the name of the company on the back, Tarocco Studio. It's not focusing, but there you go. That's what it is. The Revival Art Tarot is really beautiful, and this cardstock is lovely, and I actually really love this deck. And now that I'm actually looking at it, I'm reminded of one of the things I love about this is that it's borderless. I love the delicate gold borders around the sides. I love how well this artwork depicts the meanings of the cards. And to be honest, while I love working with this deck, I really do enjoy it a lot. I don't reach for decks like this a ton, right? I'm very particular about art decks, and I feel like if I had this one and Cat Black's deck next to each other on my table, I would automatically tend to reach for this just because the images are bigger, so it's easier, like they take up the whole card, so it would be easier for me to see more of the details. And they don't feel too far away, like, and some of the scenes where they're further away, like here in Judgment, there's a lot happening in this card, so I don't necessarily feel like the closeness of the images in Cat Black's deck are enough to, like, I love this Six of Cups so much. It's one of my favorite cards in the deck. I love this Eight of Cups too, the way they're sort of clinging to him a little bit as he's leaving. There's a lot to see in these cards. I think I can eliminate the Touchstone Tarot from my list, actually. Seeing this and kind of getting it out in my hands and really looking at it I think that's an easy decision for me. I really love this deck, and I don't feel like I have a space in my collection or in my brain, I guess, for a whole lot of decks like this. A couple special ones, yes. And I think if I had too many, they would become white noise in a way. So I don't think I want to get the Touchstone Tarot. Well, that's good. See, we're off to a good start. Okay, let's talk about Queen Alice. Oh, I'm really struggling with this one. Okay, so there's 2 decks I want to look at for this one. First of all, Dame Darcy's Mermaid Tarot is so luscious and beautiful, and I really, really enjoy working with this deck. I keep moving the cards too far up, but there we go. This cardstock is like perfect. It's like a really buttery matte cardstock. It's really smooth. It's sturdy. It's got this beautiful like gilding. I really, really love working with this deck. And actually, I thought this would be, like, handling this deck would make me want the Queen Alice Tarot even more, but I almost wonder if I had 2 decks like this, if I would neglect one or the other of them. because it just, I don't know if it would make it feel less special in my collection. Something I'm thinking about, but I really do enjoy working with this deck quite a lot. And like, I love this moon card. I don't know if I'd want this deck to feel less special. So that's something I'm thinking about. I don't know. The other deck that I wanted to look at for deciding how I feel about the Queen Alice Tarot, at least for right now, is my other Alice Tarot, which is the Baba Studios Alice Tarot. So I really love this deck. I've gushed about it before. It's just a stunner of a deck. I love the guidebook. I love all the gold detailing on the backs, but also I love all the cold foil stamping on the fronts. And I actually do think that, kind of like with the Revival Art Tarot, I wonder if getting the Queen Alice Dame Darcy deck would make me even less likely to reach for this deck in readings. I kind of feel like when I think of Alice and tarot, this is the deck I think of. And I wonder if that other deck, I think I'm kind of verbalizing what I'm thinking. I think working with that other deck, with Dame Darcy's deck, may actually make me fall out of love with this deck a little bit. I feel like from a cardstock perspective, I would reach for the Dame Darcy deck like on the regular, but then this one would be neglected. And I spent a pretty penny on this deck. I think it's absolutely beautifully done, and I want to reach for this more. So I don't think I want to bring something into my collection that's going to have me more hesitant to reach for this deck. And don't get me wrong, Baba Studios cardstock is really lovely. It's got a beautiful core in it. It does tend to get a bit of a bow in it, at least in my experience, but it's got a beautiful flex. It shuffles and it holds up well, and it smells incredible. And I know that sounds really nerdy, but I love how it smells, and I love this like backing. Yeah, I think, am I actually able to eliminate this one right now though? I don't know. I need to think about it a little bit while I look at the other decks. But I think this is a good case for perhaps not getting the Queen Alice, so that this one doesn't lose its like specialness, right? So I'm going to think about this one. I'm going to keep it up here in the corner so I remember. Okay, so that brings us to the Broken Isn't Bad deck. So I was thinking, what else in my collection has that feeling of like a single character, like moving through the experiences depicted in the tarot. And the one that came to mind was my Gorgon's Tarot. So you guys know I love this deck so much. It is a round deck. It's really unique. This is mass market, but it's just really, really beautifully done. And of course I picked the one card that doesn't have our main character in it, but most of these cards actually do have the same sort of female or feminine looking character featured in them. So we do see that sort of progression. I also think this has that same sort of black and white kind of feel, although the art style is very, very different. But again, I wonder if Broken Isn't Bad. Like this one feels less sort of body beautiful. Like the body shapes of the figures feels less emphasized. Like it's not like they're like, it's very like you can see here, right? It's not trying to look model-esque. These are just like sort of, they definitely clearly depict human figures, but they're not so specific in body shape. Does that make any sense? And maybe because of that, I feel like this deck is easier to sort of see myself in. I also like that gender feels a little bit more, it's definitely feminine. It's got a feminine feel, but I could make a case for a little bit more gender ambiguity. Like there's cards like this where it's like, that could be a masculine figure, a feminine figure, or, you know, an other gendered figure, genderqueer figure, you know what I mean? So I kind of feel like this one is a little bit more flexible that way, and I really do love it. And I have 2 copies of this deck. I have the extra large cards, the ones that come standard, and this was the limited edition smaller one, and it's still quite, you know, a deck to handle. But I really enjoy this deck, and I do enjoy reading with this deck, and as much as I love Broken Isn't Bad in theory, I think I can eliminate that one. Okay, so I've eliminated, let's see, what have I eliminated? I've eliminated the Revival Art Tarot, and I've eliminated the Broken Isn't Bad Tarot, and I'm still thinking about Alice. So that's pretty good. Okay, so that decision is made. All right, so who else do we have here? So now we have the Inspired Soul Tarot by Julie. Okay, gosh, this one I really like. It's also very affordable. Being at Make Playing Cards, it's very affordable. The one deck I could think of in my collection that kind of gives me, it's not similar, but it's a pip deck and it's got like a similarly, I guess, soothing sort of vibe to it. But that is this Inspirational Tarot by Rachel Faribaugh. And I don't know if I'm saying her name right. I really love this deck. So this was actually sent to me by a subscriber who sent it with some other decks. In fact, the same subscriber that sent me the Dame Darcy Mermaid Tarot, actually. It came in like sort of a care package, and it was such a lovely surprise. And she sent it to me with like no expectations, just like, hey, I think you might enjoy this deck. And turns out I really, really, really fell in love with this deck. So it's got these beautiful, can you tell I like shiny things? I feel like shiny things is definitely something that I am all about. Really gorgeous backs. Kind of a meaty deck, and the cardstock on this one is really nice. It's easy to shuffle, but it doesn't feel super thin either. I don't know if you can see that, but it's definitely like a thicker cardstock. They are chipping a bit, so I will need to, and I do need to blacken the edges of these, but I have used them a bunch. This one is very sort of, it's not Marseille, but it is pips. And I think because of the black background, kind of like with Julie's deck, it has that parchment background, so it's not white, but the background just helps you focus in on the heart of the image. So I love this Lover's card. But I really enjoy the pips in this deck, and I like that they kind of have a bit of a nod to the Rider-Waite-Smith. So like this Seven of Pentacles is this flower, and to me it just reminds me of the Rider-Waite-Smith Seven of Pentacles. I also really enjoy the court cards and how kind of close up they are, and some of the softer colors that are in the back. I really love this one. And the thing is, I really have been enjoying working with pip decks lately, and in fact, when I do live readings on my second channel, I almost always bring in at least one pip deck to the round of decks, or to like the selection of decks I'm reading with during those lives, because I like how expansive they feel. I've been enjoying working with, as you can see, reversals with pip decks lately too, so there's been just something really interesting there about pip decks and my practice, and I don't know, but this one is really pretty, but I also really like Julie's deck. So I'm a little torn. Oh, but look at this. I think the other thing that I'm kind of thinking about in the back of my head is that there's going to be times in my sort of, when I'm ready to make one of these Say Yes to the Deck videos, there's going to be times when I have a slightly like lower budget. So I may wait for Julie's deck for one of those months where I want to purchase a new deck, but I have a more limited budget, because hers is, she's just priced it really fairly. It's still going to cost me, I think, if I remember correctly, around 65 Canadian dollars or so, but that's, keep in mind, that's with exchange and Canadian shipping from Make Playing Cards. So yeah, I think I'm going to hold off on Julie's deck for now. I do have Julie's Cup of Contemplation cards, which I really enjoy, but I think I'm going to hold off on the tarot for now. I also have one of her Lenormand decks on my list, so I might still just randomly pull the trigger one day when I have a few extra bucks, but I don't think that's one that I need to, I guess, agonize the same way about. I'm going to hold off for now because there's ones here that I think I'm more excited for at this particular moment, but it's probably going to end up in my collection at some point, as long as she doesn't pull it down off Make Playing Cards. Julie, don't pull it down off Make Playing Cards, please. Just keep it there forever. Okay, thanks, bye. Okay, so that is another one eliminated. Okay, so I've eliminated 3 out of, I think, 6 that we started with. Okay, that's good. I'm doing real good. I'm doing real good, guys. So next up is Wilder Woven, and this one, oh man, with those silhouette cutouts and beautiful nature scenes. Now, there's one deck I don't have yet that is one of my biggest deterrents for purchasing this one right now. And that is, oh gosh, what's it called? Oak, Ash, and Thorn. And I've talked about this a lot in like recent anti-hauls. At the time I'm filming this video, I don't have Oak, Ash, and Thorn yet to show you. I think it's due to ship soon. But that one is my most recently purchased sort of animal nature deck, and I'm hesitant to purchase another one while I haven't gotten that one in my hands yet. So that's one thing that I'm thinking about. But the other deck that I say that I have currently that I would think about when I think of just generally connecting to nature or animals is my Brady Tarot 2nd edition. Now, I rehomed my 1st edition because when this one came out, I just preferred it. It's a little bit larger cards. Some people preferred the 1st edition because the cardstock was a little smaller, and the original also had white borders, whereas this one does not. The one thing about this deck is it's got wonderful keywords, which I really enjoy. And I don't know why, but I seem to enjoy keywords more in abstract or nature-based decks. But then again, I kind of like keywords in lots of decks. So it just depends. It's case by case. This one doesn't feel the same as Wilder Woven. In fact, I could actually see, oh gosh, am I making a case for Wilder Woven right now? You know what would be really cool? Because this deck, the Brady Tarot, tends to go a little more deep, a little more intense in a way. I could actually see perhaps, and the color aesthetic of this deck is so much darker and like deeper in a way, earthier. I could see using Wilder Woven in like, and this deck side by side is like a light and shadow kind of contrast. I think side by side they would very much look light and shadow. Yeah, oh, that would be cool. Oh, can I not eliminate this one yet? I don't know. I don't know. Guys, I don't know. I haven't decided about Alice yet. I've eliminated 3. Let's maybe this is one to talk to Peggy about. Maybe this Wilder Woven, because I'm really thinking about it. But let me revisit. I don't know. Okay, I'm having trouble. Can you tell I'm agonizing? Okay, so I'm thinking about it. I'm going to put this aside over here with my maybes so that we can see. So the last one is the Tarot Renard. Is that how you say it? Renard? I feel like it's supposed to be French or something, and I'm bad at that. So the deck closest to that deck I could feel like in my collection, look at this adorable bag with these otters. I just love it. Is the Tarot Fauna. So this is another animal nature based comparison, of course, because the Tarot Renard is foxes, and this deck, not only does it have a lot of foxes in it, as you can see on this very first card, the whole wand suit in this deck is foxes. I guess they're called torches. So this is a really beautiful deck, and I would say it has a similar sort of storybook kind of art style to it, a little closer to what that Tarot Renard has. But you have otters for the cup suit, you have bears for the pentacle suit, you have foxes for the wand suit, and you have owls for the sword suit. This deck is really special, and I really enjoy working with it. This just makes me want to pull it out for live readings soon, because now that I'm looking at it, I'm like, I want to play with it. It's got a beautiful linen cardstock too. I really enjoy this. I really enjoy this deck, and I almost rehomed it, and then I spent some time with it, and I ended up really bonding with it. Love this deck. Very different feel. You know what this actually though makes me realize is that this deck next to the Brady Tarot might also work for light and shadow. So maybe, sorry, I'm off to, like, I'm kind of all over the place. Look at the backs too, so pretty. So I think what I'm thinking right now, I'm kind of thinking out loud. I think what I'm thinking is that I definitely don't want to eliminate the Tarot Renard. I'm so enchanted with it. But I do think looking at this makes me feel like I can wait on Wilder Woven. I'm not sure. I'm definitely leaning towards an animal deck this time, though. Can I wait on Wilder Woven? Yeah, I think I can wait on Wilder Woven. I think I'm going to choose. Okay, I think I'm going to try to pick between Tarot Renard and the Queen Alice Tarot. Because as much as man, really though? I don't know. Yeah, I think man, I don't want to eliminate any of those 3. Okay, so Wilder Woven. So the Wilder Woven, which I used this deck to compare. Wilder Woven, no. I used this deck to compare Wilder Woven. So I guess I'm trying to choose between Dame Darcy's Queen Alice, Gregory White's Wilder Woven, and what is the creator's name? Celia Melville's Tarot Renard. I'm going to say that wrong every single time. So those are the 3 I'm trying to pick between. Price-wise, I kind of abandoned pricing when I was going through these decks. I totally forgot. These are all going to cost me about the same amount of money. I feel like maybe actually Queen Alice and Tarot Renard would be around 100 and some odd Canadian dollars delivered, like 105, 110, somewhere in there. I think Gregory White's deck may ship from somewhere in Canada. I feel like I remember seeing it was in Canadian dollars, so this one might be a little bit less by like $20 or so, $15 to $20. So price-wise, they're kind of all in the same ballpark. I feel like I need to get it narrowed down to 2 before I talk to Peggy, though. So... Gosh, it's really hard. Okay, I'm going to wait on Queen Alice. So it's Gregory White's Wilder Woven or Tarot Renard. That's what we're down to. That was really hard. Okay, so I'm going to talk to Peggy to see if I can narrow it down between these two. Gosh, I'm really struggling this time. Okay, well, I'm going to try to... Oh, I'm going to kick the camera. I'm going to go talk to Peggy, see if I can narrow it down any. You know what? I need to talk to her about Queen Alice too. I need to go with 3. Maybe she can help me narrow it down to 2. And then I can watch walkthroughs. Because there is a full walkthrough on the Kickstarter page for this deck. There's definitely full walkthroughs of Queen Alice. And we saw that all the images at the very least were available on Gregory White's website for the Wilder Woven. And worst case, I might be able to also find a flip through of this because it is out now, I think. So... I can watch walkthroughs of these. There's the video walkthrough. Okay, so I'm going to see if Peggy can help me at all with this dilemma. I'm really not sure where I want to land here. Okay, well, next step. Okay, see you in a sec.
Okay.
Okay, say yes to the deck.
Okay.
You ready?
Say
Okay,
no
so
to the deck.
I'm gonna get the first.
no.
Hold on. I'm gonna get the first part out of the way right away. I have a budget.
Okay.
Why are you laughing?
I don't
My
know.
budget is $120.
Your budget requires that I work harder. How much?
What? $120.
Well, that's way
maximum.
too much.
No.
Yeah,
I'm looking at
okay,
mostly
you need
indie
to start
decks.
making these bags.
No, that's your job.
Somebody's...
It's your job.
So you've got your own money and you're not taking my money.
Yes.
Oh my God, are you okay?
I usually use my own money.
Sure.
Oh, I do! Don't lie to the internet. Okay, only your shoulder.
But honey, I lie to you.
You have to stop sewing. Okay, she's
I lie
literally
to, but I lie to you.
No, you don't.
Oh.
What do you lie to me about?
I don't know.
Tell me one thing you've lied to me about.
I don't know.
Can you think of anything? Ever?
That's why we fight over stupid shit, because I don't lie to you.
Exactly. Okay.
It's like,
so,
oh, do you like that? No. Why not?
back
Well,
on track.
oh, we're on track?
Yeah, so I have a budget.
Mm-hmm.
Everything I'm looking at is within the budget, but I can only buy one thing, so I can't do any sneaky sneak buy 2 if I want to stay within my budget.
Oh, because the things you're looking at are kind of pricey this
They're
time?
kind of pricey, yeah. So
yeah, because you did that one time.
I only did that once where I got 2.
I think you ended up with 3.
No, I never bought 3 at once. I did have somebody send me a bunch once.
Oh.
So maybe that's what you're thinking of.
Oh,
remember that bundle?
You bought 2, and then somebody said, "Well, I have an extra. Here you go."
I know, it was
Yeah,
great.
okay,
It was
okay,
awesome. Okay, so here's where we're at. I'm really
God.
struggling. I managed to narrow it down to 3 different decks.
3 different decks. Okay.
Okay, the first one is called Queen Alice, and it's a Dame Darcy deck. I have another Dame Darcy.
Alice in Wonderland?
Yeah.
Okay. Don't you have a couple of other Alice decks?
I have one.
You have one.
Okay, so
Okay.
I have the Baba Studios Alice in
Okay.
Wonderland Tarot called the Alice Tarot, and I love it. It's beautiful, and
Okay.
I love it. Okay.
Okay.
But I have the Dame Darcy Mermaid Tarot. Are you going back to sewing?
No, I'm just adjusting myself.
Okay. So I have a Dame Darcy deck.
You have
and
a Dame
it's
Darcy.
The mermaid one.
Okay.
So I have the Dame Darcy Mermaid
Whoa,
Tarot,
there's
and I
nothing-
love it. Are you folk?
No. I have a little footstooly thing in here, and it slipped.
Are you okay now?
Maybe.
How about now?
Maybe.
Okay.
Oh, look, you can see the fabric. It's all right there.
It's pretty. I
Very
folded all
pretty.
of it.
Lisa folded all of
All
that
of
for
it.
me back there, and it goes right down to the floor.
Yes, it does. Okay.
Yeah.
Hi, can we focus
was-
on my problem? Me, over here. This is what
You're
this
spending
is
money,
literally-
right?
Not yours.
Okay,
I can be
I can be a little more supportive here now that you've confirmed that it's your money you're spending and not mine.
I confirmed that earlier. Aren't you listening?
Well, now I am because I wasn't quite believing it. It sounded too
Anyways.
good to be true.
Back to Queen Alice.
Mm-hmm.
So I do have another Alice deck.
Okay.
I also have another Dame Darcy deck, which is not the Alice deck. It is the Mermaid deck.
Okay.
I love the Dame Darcy Mermaid deck.
Okay, but what's this deck that she's doing now?
an
she's
Alice
done the
deck.
Alice deck. Okay.
Okay.
So we're still on the first deck.
Yeah.
How much is it?
100-ish. They're all about the same price. So there's not really a price difference.
That's 100 Canadian, not 100
Yeah.
American.
Like all in, it's going to be like, for any of these, it'll probably be, by the time it's shipped and I deal with exchange, it'll be around 105-ish for
Canadian.
everything on average. Yeah.
Are you going to tell the lovely people what it's worth American?
I think I already did, but I'll have links down below if I forget. Queen Alice. Okay, so I'm trying to explain to you. Okay, so I already have an Alice Tarot.
Mm-hmm.
I also already have a Dame Darcy Tarot. It's the Mermaid Tarot. I love the Mermaid Tarot. I love the cardstock. I love the quality. I love the art style. So I would love the Dame Darcy Mermaid Tarot, Alice Tarot, but I do already have an Alice Tarot.
Okay.
That's my dilemma there. The second one is a deck called Wilder Woven Tarot, and it's by Gregory White. And I found out about it back when he was painting all the images, and I was following him obsessively on Instagram and super in love with it. But then when the Kickstarter launched, I just felt not as excited about it, and I didn't back it.
Did you have other decks you were backing at the same time?
I don't remember. Irrelevant.
Okay.
Regardless, I didn't back it. Now it's out, and I looked at it again, and basically,
Changed your mind.
Maybe. So
maybe.
So here's the issue with this.
Okay, if you haven't changed your mind, why are we talking about it?
Well, I maybe want it. This is what we're trying to figure out. Okay, listen.
Okay.
Listen. So the Gregory White Tarot, the deal with this one is that it's okay. So, for example, in the death
you
card,
haven't finished a sentence
I know
yet.
it's okay. So I'm trying to explain it. So the death card is like a silhouette of a snake, for example.
Okay.
And the background is just white. You've got the silhouette of the snake, and inside the silhouette of the snake is a scene of like a snake's skin that's been shed. So it's like all of his art.
Gosh, I'm tired.
All of it. You always yawn on these.
It's so exciting.
Are you being sarcastic?
No, I think it's eye strain, actually.
Anyways.
I've just been sewing my eyes like,
So the style for this deck is that every single image is like the silhouette of something, and then inside of that is something that's associated.
Yeah, I saw that deck.
Did you?
I like that deck. It's awesome.
Okay.
I like that. That's kind of
so like all of the wand suits are like flame silhouettes, and inside of the scenes, and
Yes.
they're all nature, animals, kind of thing. Okay.
Yes.
My hesitation is that I didn't back it initially because obviously I wasn't sure. So I'm like, am I just wanting it now because I didn't get it, or am I wanting it because I want it, kind of thing? And there's a third deck.
Well.
And there's a third deck.
You always want it because you want it.
It's true. Okay. So the third deck is called Tarot Renard. Is that a French word? Renard?
Renard? I'm not sure.
It's a fox deck. But here's the interesting thing.
I'd have to look it up.
I was hoping you would know. Okay, anyways.
Well, no, the Renard's. It's probably going to turn out that Renard means fox.
Probably. I haven't looked it up yet.
You should have looked that up.
I should have, but I didn't.
Okay, you expect me
so
to
here's
be
the
this
thing.
well
I thought I was going to
of
be okay. So I thought I had 6 decks. I've narrowed it down to
6?
3.
Oh wow.
Okay, so I've done good on my own. Okay.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the thing with the Tarot Renard, I wasn't going to even have this on this episode of Say Yes to the Deck, and then I was randomly looking at Kickstarter. It just launched on Kickstarter. It's stunningly beautiful. Okay, so basically the whole premise of this deck is that it's like it looks like storybook art. Like if you were reading a storybook, a children's storybook about this like happy little fox and like his life in the woods.
Oh my god. Okay. Why don't you just get that one, because I can tell right now. You're turning 5 right before my eyes. Okay, you want it because it's awesome.
I want it because it's
cute.
It's really cute, and it all of the.
It makes the 5-year-old in you smile.
Yeah, and I went through the Kickstarter video has all of the cards. Like she goes through every single image in the Kickstarter video, and like every single one matches my personal like association with that card. So like I have no conflict
because it's for 5-year-olds. Okay, no, because you're a 5-year-old.
That's kind. Hold on. That's kind of what I said actually. I was like, this is meant for children.
Like,
so obvious. And she didn't mean it for children, but she meant it so that it could still be. It wouldn't be frightening to children. So
simple.
It's like,
yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean?
She put a fun element into it.
But the art style is very much like that storybook art, and it just.
Once upon a time, there was an Ace of Wands. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. Okay. What? Now that you've embarrassed yourself.
I think I did embarrass myself. Okay. So that one, it's just. I think the tomato is because I can't see the camera,
tomato?
so I forget that we're filming. Okay.
That's kind of. You're like crushing my arm.
I'm not crushing.
She's like.
I'm not. Okay, so anyway.
3, 2.
What were you counting for?
So your hands went back on my arms and you started crushing my arm again.
Oh. Okay. So I think I am really excited about that one.
Okay.
And I don't have any fox decks, but I do have a Tarot Fauna that has the whole wand suit as foxes. And it's also kind of storybooky.
Okay.
But I do love...
Okay.
I do love that it sort of is like the same character kind of in all the... Yeah.
Okay.
You're making fun of me. Look, my face is all red. Ow, my face hurts from grinning. Okay, stop.
Is the fox and the fool card?
Yeah.
Starting off with a little foxy journey?
Yeah. You're making fun of me.
I am absolutely making fun of you.
I am kind of excited. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
Plus, it's a Kickstarter.
Okay. So, now, that deck,
Okay.
you have to decide if you are...
Do you have anything to help me?
I probably have very little that's helpful right now. Okay, so a deck that gets... Okay, when you are doing, like, really fun, playful readings, that sounds like that is the deck that you're going to, like... that's a deck that you're going to use.
Except, it's unlike other decks I have, like the Happy Tarot, where I feel like I can only use it for playful readings. This definitely covers the light and the shadow. Like when I looked through the images, you know how in storybooks you still have like scary moments and stuff? So the moments are still there. It's not like
a scary moment?
Well, the Tower and the Devil. Like, okay, like in the Devil, it shows this fox and then there's
I'm
like a puppet.
trying to tease you and it's not working.
It's not working.
You're over it already, aren't you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So it's not just for playful
Are you
readings.
over it?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Okay. Anyways, what were you trying to say? Because I got distracted.
Okay, that deck has obviously caught your undivided attention.
It has. Agreed.
Okay.
I am having a very big reaction to it for sure.
Okay, so why are you buying a deck right now? No. It's like, I mean, it's not some.
Because
if you're just buying a deck, because you know I haven't treated myself to a new deck in a while, then go for the fun one.
What other reason would I have to? What I don't know what the other options
are.
Help me.
Help you. Okay, so the Alice deck.
Yes, Alice. Yes,
Alice. Now, I don't think that you're necessarily going to resonate with multiple Alice decks.
That was one of the things I said when I did my top down.
I mean, if you didn't already have... Okay, you've always wanted an Alice deck.
But I have an Alice deck.
But you now have an Alice deck.
That's what I was thinking. I was worried if I got a second one.
So, yeah, if you have a second one, then you're going to be a little bit less interested in either of them.
That's almost exactly what I said in there.
Yeah, so it's got nothing to do with the deck. Because, like if
I didn't have an Alice deck, I think that would be one that I would want, for sure. But because I have an Alice deck I already have in love, I'm worried that if I got a second one, I would just... Oversaturation of a specific theme. Yeah. And that's something I tend to avoid in my collection, is too many things that fit the same niche.
So I think so
I can eliminate that one, I think.
You should probably eliminate that. You should probably eliminate that one, not because there's a problem with the deck, because I haven't seen it, so I'll be honest there, but I've seen the way you're responding, so it does sound like it's a pretty cool deck.
Yeah, it's really cool. But again, I already have a Dan Darcy deck, and I already have an Alice deck. So I kind of have...
You've ticked off both boxes.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, so...
So the Wilder Woven, so here's the dilemma there. The Wilder Woven, to me, one of the things that would make it easier for me to eliminate that one and get the Tarot of Renard, is that...
So you're not really picking a deck right now. You're just trying to justify why you're eliminating the grown-up decks.
I think I am leaning... Okay, but here's the thing. The thing with the Wilder Woven is this. I backed another deck called Oak, Ash, and Thorn that is also very nature.
Okay.
And it has multiple different animals in the suits, etc. It has like rabbits and the swords, and it's kind of more like Terra Fauna, right? But it's one that I'm really excited about. So if I'm going to get another animal deck, I don't know. I don't even have that one in my hands yet.
No. I was actually...
I think it has to be the Tarot Renard.
I was actually going... I'm getting bored now.
So should I watch a walkthrough of Wilder Woven, or should I just like go for the Tarot?
I thought you already watched a walkthrough of that one. It sounds familiar.
I haven't watched a walkthrough, but I have seen a lot of the images through Instagram because I followed the artist like the whole time.
I think that you should. I think the Alice one...
Eliminate.
I think the Alice one you should eliminate.
I agree.
And again, nothing to...
I was this close to eliminating in there. I just was like not
basically,
sure.
Basically, as soon as you... Okay, if a water theme deck... And you have multiple water themed deck. That's not a problem.
Because they're general.
But when you get too specific, you tend to end up with two of something that's too specifically similar.
And then I rehome one of them.
You feel like you're not allowed. You always talk yourself into not being allowed to keep them both.
Yes, that's true.
So and you're not ready to give up the other one yet.
No, I don't want to give up the other one for sure.
I mean, your taste might change over time, and that might happen. But until it does, there's probably no reason to do that.
Yeah,
that's
I agree.
fine.
I think that's smart. So we'll eliminate the Alice.
So nature theme all by itself is a large enough genre that you're not going to be harmed by having multiple nature theme decks.
No, but I will say that I've anti-hauled and like avoided buying lots of things lately that are too general animal themed. because I have that Oak Ash and Thorn coming and I haven't even got it yet. So everything else feels like it's kind of competing with the deck I don't have.
And you already know that deck's coming.
Yes. Like, I backed it on Kickstarter. It's supposed to ship anytime. Like, by the time this video airs, it may even be in my hands. I don't know.
Okay, well, okay. So, and now is this a deck that you can come back for later?
It looks like yes, because it's already released on Kickstarter and he's selling them on his website now.
Oh,
so
then you should be...
I think I'm okay. Like, I don't think it's selling so fast that I have to be scared it's going to go out of print really fast. But it's indie, so you never know. Like, it still could go out. But
It's still... Yeah, okay. Any deck could suddenly go out of print, even something that's been in print for a bazillion years.
And also, the Tarot Renard is currently backing on Kickstarter, which means that there may be stretch goals and other bonuses if I back it, versus one that's already finished on Kickstarter and is just a regular purchase. So that's always kind of nice too, is to like, sometimes there's like little extra perks that come. But
it's a storybook.
Yeah. I feel like that one's probably going to win, but I wonder if I should watch a walkthrough of Wilder Woven first.
Do you have... and you said you've only got one deck that has any fox-specific theming, and that's only in one suit.
Yeah, Tarot Fauna.
Because
and
every time you see fox imagery, you go nuts.
I guess I do. I had not...
Okay, honey, I had that fabric.
Oh, yeah.
And you're like, oh my god, blah, 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 I really want to bag into this, but I don't know what deck I would pair that with. I would have to get a fox deck first.
You made me the fox reading cloth. Remember the little one with the fox on it that I stole?
Yeah, you stole it. You're like, I'm taking that, and it's like, do you have any fox decks? No.
But I had a deck with foxes in it, so it was okay.
By the way, you said stole.
Oh yeah. Anyways.
I would honestly say...
I really want the fox deck.
I
really want the fox deck. I really want the fox deck.
Okay.
Okay, wait.
I will say that my opinion is that you should get the fox deck because of the three choices, they're all fairly pricey. And so when you do tend to get the pricier, like if you buy a less expensive deck and use it for a while and then ultimately decide to trade it for any reason, I don't think you've ever traded a deck because you don't like it. It's just decluttering, keeping your collection.
Ones that I've traded ones that just like that new Mythic Tarot was terrible. I didn't like that one. That was bad. It was a bad deck. Bad. It was bad. Don't worry. It's fine. It's okay. But most of the time, it's that they just don't resonate, or I don't use them as much, or don't reach for them, etc.
I can't remember which one the new Mythic is.
It's the one I couldn't even bear to take out of the box and shuffle because it was that bad. It was bad. It was bad. It was bad.
I've never heard you say that about a deck.
Yes, you have, because I showed you that one and I tried to give it to you, and even you didn't like it. Remember?
I'm going to have to look that one up.
Don't worry, it's fine.
Okay.
It's fine.
I've never heard you say that about a deck. I've never seen you encounter a deck that you didn't have positive things to say about. Even decks that don't resonate, you're like, oh, that's here's what I like about the deck, but it doesn't resonate, so I'm skipping it.
No, New Mythic was bad. It was just bad.
Okay.
Also, the backs were terrible. They had words in spots. It was bad cardstock.
It just didn't work for you.
It was bad.
It didn't work for you. Bad. Okay.
Okay, anyways.
So the fox deck.
The fox deck.
It's a price. Okay. Whenever there's some decks that you get and you get it, and it doesn't. You're never going to know if it's going to resonate until you actually have it in your little hands and you're shuffling away and trying it out. And I get that. And if a deck isn't resonating, you'll often trade it, and that's fine because there's never you except for the one deck that you apparently just have a hate relationship with.
I just didn't get on with it. Okay. Anyways.
Okay, but it's a pricier deck, so it's not going to be a deck that you're going to want to give away once you have it.
True.
Which matters.
True.
Because you're trying to keep your collection from getting so out of control that it needs its own bedroom.
But I did recently I don't care if it needs its own bedroom, but I did recently do a bit of a declutter.
Okay, so you don't want any decks and I'm taking away your credit card.
No!
I would say the Fox deck.
I think so.
I think
that's the one.
I think you should get the Fox deck because I think...
And I have this viscerally positive reaction to it, right?
You already have a very, very positive reaction to the deck, even if you don't necessarily resonate with it as a deck, you'll still enjoy using it.
Yeah.
For those light-hearted, because I mean, you're not always super insanely serious over every single reading all the time. So if you're doing fun, light-hearted readings that you're not.
I don't think this deck would be limited to fun, lighthearted only readings.
Oh, I'm
but
sorry.
Yeah,
No,
that
I'm
would be a good backup.
out.
Yeah, it would be nice to have a gentle deck that you know isn't going to have any frightening images or any like.
Well, no, I'm just saying even if the deck doesn't 100% resonate, you're still going to enjoy it because you enjoy
and it's so
boxes
cute.
and the theme. Yes,
and the fact that it's like kind of story.
It's really cute. So
really
you're
cute.
going to enjoy the deck, even if it doesn't resonate as well as other decks do.
That's probably true. I would
Yeah,
be okay,
that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, of this one versus Wilder Woven, like if I didn't gel with Wilder Woven, I would probably trade it. Whereas with this one, if I didn't immediately gel with it, I'd probably still enjoy it.
Yes.
Yeah, I get what you mean. Okay.
Yes, and if you're spending a little bit more than normal this month, this round, I don't know. I don't want to. You're not buying any other decks after this, right?
No.
Ever.
That's what's so funny. I don't know why you would say that. How delusional are you?
Very.
Very delusional. She's
very
incredibly delusional.
Okay, I think the Fox deck is. I think the Fox deck is probably the one that's gonna.
I think it's the one.
I think that's the one.
That's the one that, like, I know I would be sad if I didn't pick it.
Okay, I'm seeing the look on your face.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like no.
I really want it.
You're gonna be sad if you don't get it now. You're gonna get it the minute you're gonna. Hey, look, it's been 5 minutes. I'm gonna order this one now.
Yeah, and then it'll be more because it'll be after the Kickstarter. So yeah.
I would say yeah.
I think I'm gonna do it. I don't even think I need to watch boxes. I think I'm just gonna do it. That one. That's the one. That's the one.
Well, yeah, because you're budgeted with money that you've already set aside.
Yes.
Okay, and this sounds silly, but we talked about like the risk, right?
Yeah.
So.
My knees are sore.
I'm sorry. You're staying with the Fox. You're staying with.
It has to be the Fox.
I'm just gonna stop and start. I don't have. I saw your look on your face. It's
I
gotta
know.
be the,
I did turn 5.
I've got nothing that I can say when I see that. When I see you turning 5, it's like you're gonna love that. Even if you never get a chance to do a single reading with this deck, you're gonna love the fact that you have it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
see.
true.
Yeah. See.
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay, it's the Fox deck. I don't even think. It's the Fox deck. You're right. I make a decision
You don't
right
have.
now.
So you're not going to go in the back and go, okay, Peggy suggested this one, so here's the reason why I'm going to pick something different.
No, I don't ever do that.
You did on the one.
Did I?
You showed me the one, and you goes, yeah. Then I got thinking about it. It's like,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I did change my mind on the one. Well, I'm decided.
You changed your mind for other reasons.
I'm decided. Fox deck. Fox deck. Fox deck. Fox deck.
You have to keep saying it. It's going to sound like a different word, and then you'll get
Fox deck.
Fox that deck.
Fox deck. Also, if you are watching this right now, and you happen to watch this video right when it goes up, you have like 4 hours. So get on it.
You have 4 hours.
That's all that'll be left in the Kickstarter campaign when this video goes up on my channel.
Oh.
Good luck. May the odds be ever in your favor.
4 hours.
That's
You did
it.
that to them.
Yeah.
Wow.
Was it mean?
Yeah, it's
Was it
mean. A little bit mean. I'm going to post this video when you've got 4 hours left. Yeah. Wow.
Hey, early bird gets the worm. Okay, guys.
I'm going to slap you on the head of the internet.
Comment down below. Don't lick my hand. Like this video if you enjoy Say Yes to the Deck. Comment down below. Let me know what you think of my choice. And share if you know anybody that wants to watch this. Subscribe if you're new here. Click the little bell. Is there anything else? Oh, if you want to book a reading with me, you can do that over at supportivetarot.com.
Uh-huh.
Thanks, guys.
Wasn't there some other thing?
And
I don't know.
May your magic always shine from the inside out.
There you go.
Bye.
Bye. So much.
What you doing, babe?
Are you filming me?
Yeah.
I have got.
What you doing? Are you finding thread in your shirt?
I don't know what I've got going on in my shirt. But
What's happening?
It's nasty.
You're digging in there.
Lint. No. It just fell out. There's 2 layers in the side of this shirt, and it just fell out.
Are you okay?
I don't know.
Are you ready?
No.
How about now?
Are you going to delete that?
Maybe.
Because I'm probably going to say every other word if you don't.
Probably gonna put it in bloopers.
Seriously?
You ready?
Maybe. I don't know. Did you want me to dig at my boobs again?
No.
I can dig.
No. Get your hands out of your... No. I mean, you can, but not when the camera's on.
Okay.
And
I kind of like that you're kneeling here, and I can look in your cleavage at the same time.
Great. Okay, can you focus? Okay, hold on.
I'm trying to.
No, focus on the camera. No, look at the camera. Stop being a pig. Okay, so...
You f***ed up my thing.
You'll deal. It's fine. Fix your sewing machine later. No, your sewing machine is a tripod right now.
I'm literally almost touching a button. That's all I have to do.
Okay.
And it fixes it.
Look, you made it wobble.
Start over.
No.
That's not my problem.
I said dilemma. Not dilemma, but you know what I mean.
I know what you mean.
Okay. So I don't necessarily want to get one that's just general nature.
I tell you, but I don't know why I'm yawning.
I'm not boring.
Okay, so anyway.
Excuse me.
What?
You're supposed to reassure me that I'm not boring.
You're pity.
You're supposed to reassure me that I'm not boring.
Well, it wasn't boring when I was teasing you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.